pulled out like a knife and told me that he found it on the ground outside when he was walking to the hospital.
This is 23-year-old Hannah Thompson regarding the murder of her boyfriend's wife, Catherine Blauvelt.
One day he told me to get in the car with him and he drove out to I want to say it was like a field, but it was just like away from his house, basically. And then he told me that he wanted to kill Katie.
On October 26, 2016, 22-year-old Catherine Katie Blauvelt was found stabbed to death in the cellar of an abandoned farmhouse in Simpsonville, South Carolina. Her estranged husband, John Blow, was a U.S. Army recruiter. Weeks before the murder, Katie had reported he broke down her doors, smashed her iPad, and held a gun to her head, threatening to kill her. After the killing, John fled the state with Hannah. She drove him to Katie's workplace on the day of the murder, followed him as he drove Katie's car, and then concealed his whereabouts for years. She stayed in contact with John through secret social media accounts. In 2022, Hannah finally came clean, and her information led to John's capture. At the end of this interrogation, you will find out which sentences they received.
Why don't we start with the very beginning? Okay. And the very beginning could be the day of the incident. It could be a couple weeks prior. I want you to tell me everything.
I'm trying to figure out like where to start from. It's like a lot. So basically, I had been hanging out with John and like everyone that lived at his house and our friends and everything like that. And
Why don't we give you a point of reference? Okay,
Yeah,
because I know it's been a while
sorry.
too. No, you're fine. I guess people have told me that you said something about you had to pick him up at a hospital one time a couple weeks before the incident.
Yeah.
So why don't we start there? You tell me what happened with that and kind of go forward.
he had, I guess Katie had told him that she had a new boyfriend or something like that, and he wanted to go, I guess, see if he could see her with him. He knew that she was going on a date with him and wanted me to drop him off like around her mom's house where she was staying at.
Okay.
And leave and then come pick him back up later. So I did that.
What was the point of that?
I guess he just wanted to see if she had a boyfriend, or I don't really know. He didn't tell me why. He just said that he wanted to see if he could see her with this guy.
Okay. And how often did you do that?
It was just that one time.
So you dropped him. Where'd you drop him off at?
I don't really remember exactly where. I just know that it was close to her mom's house, and that he had like I guess walked the rest of the way there. Okay, so probably not far from wherever her mom lives.
Okay, so you dropped him off. How long was he there for?
Well, I had gone back to his house, and I was waiting a couple hours because I thought he had told me like to wait to give him like I guess some time before I came back there. And he called me. It was nighttime, and he called me from the hospital phone and was mad because I never came back to pick him up or anything.
Which hospital?
The Hillcrest Memorial Hospital.
So he walked from Katie's parents' house all the way down to Hillcrest Memorial?
That's what
Or
he
is
said.
it Hillcrest Hospital? Okay. All right. So he calls you, you go pick him up? Was it, I guess it was daytime when you dropped him off at Katie's house, is that correct?
It was either still daytime or like the evening.
Okay. Around dinner time?
Yeah.
All right. So you go to the hospital and what happens?
I pick him up, and then we're driving back home, and he pulled out like a knife and he told me that he found it on the ground outside when he was walking to the hospital.
Okay. What did the knife look like?
I don't really remember. I think it was just like a regular black knife.
Okay. Was it big or small or like a pocket knife, or what did it look like?
It was just like a normal, like I think it was just a normal knife, like you would use to cut a steak or something. I don't really remember exactly what it looked like.
Okay. But it wasn't like a butter knife or something like that. It was a sharp knife. Okay. And you said you think it had a black handle?
I think so.
Did it come in a case or anything?
No. From what I understand, it was just out on the ground outside. And he just
And you said he found it on the way to the hospital?
Mhm.
Okay. So he shows you the knife, and then what happens?
We just go back home. And I don't really remember anything after that. It was just like something that stuck out to me.
Okay. Did he say why he picked up the knife, or where did he have the knife on him when he took it out to show you?
I don't remember, but probably in like his pocket or something.
Okay. Did he say why he picked it up, or did he say anything else about the knife? Okay.
He just to me it just seemed like he picked it up because you don't really just see like a knife laying on the ground outside of him.
Okay. So what do you remember after that? Sorry, go ahead.
So the next thing I remember after that, I don't know how much like time between these two incidents happened, but one day he told me to get in the car with him, and he drove out to like I want to say it was like a field, but it was just like away from his house, basically. And then he told me that he wanted to kill Katie. And
What were his words exactly? Do you remember?
I think that's what he said, was like he wanted to. I just remember feeling kind of like weird because he drove away from the house. Like I don't know why he would have just like if he were gonna say that, why wouldn't he just say it at his house? So he would do stuff like that often. So
He would do what often?
just like really weird, like almost like he's really paranoid kind of stuff. So I didn't think much of it, and I'd heard him say that before. So I didn't really think like anything of it. And he told me that he wanted to kill her and he wanted me to help. I guess whenever he called, just to like be there and like do whatever he was telling me to do.
How did he specify how he wanted to kill her?
He didn't.
How did he articulate how you were going to help?
He didn't.
Okay. Do you remember the field? Do you remember where the field was?
I want to say like that it wasn't far from his house.
This is a textbook example of trauma normalization. When someone lives with a volatile, violent partner, their brain's alarm system eventually breaks. Hannah's affect is flat, her voice almost bored. She has learned that extreme statements are John's way of testing loyalty. By not reacting, she survives. But psychologically, this is the moment she stopped being a bystander and became an accomplice, not because she wanted to, but because her sense of danger had been so thoroughly rewired that she could no longer tell the difference between a threat and a routine conversation.
And it was just the two of you guys?
Yes.
Okay. And you said has said this to you multiple times, is that correct?
Not just to me, but like just in general, just mentioning that like that's something that he was gonna do or wanted to do.
Was there a motive behind it? What was the reasoning?
I heard him mention multiple times about her life insurance money, getting that and then splitting it with whoever would help him do it. But when he told me that he didn't mention that.
Okay. Do you know about how long before the incident that conversation occurred where he took you to the field?
I want to say maybe like a week or two, but I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. What else do you remember?
I remember going to work with him that day. Like I wouldn't go to work with him, and then he came out early to his car, and he told me that he needed me to go take him and drop him off when we're just running Katie's work. And
have you ever done that before?
No.
So you've never, like, because I know you took him to Katie's parents' house, but have you ever driven him to Katie's work before? No. Okay.
And so that's when we drove to Woodruff Road, and he had me park kind of away from her job, and he said he was gonna walk over there.
Where'd you park?
I think it was at the wing stop. There's a wing stop on Woodruff.
Okay.
I didn't say it was there.
Okay.
And
what was the plan? Like you were supposed to drop him off at her work, and then what? What was the plan after you dropped him off?
I think he had told me to go home because I did go home. But he told me that he was gonna go to Katie's car, or he said that he was gonna wait for her at her car, and that whenever, like he told me to wait until I saw them leaving in her car together, but I never saw them leave, so I just left and went home. I don't really remember how long I was in for. I don't think it was that long. And so whenever I didn't see them leave, I thought like they were probably just talking or sitting in the car talking.
And from where you parked, could you see Katie's car in the parking lot?
No.
Okay. So how are you supposed to see them leave then?
I guess like if they were driving out onto Woodruff Road, I would see them, but I didn't see them. So then I went home and I went inside, and Crystal was there and Brandon was there, and we were sitting in the kitchen. And Crystal told me that she saw John pull in the car, or I can't remember if she said she saw John or Katie pulling in the car. She just said that trying to remember if she can tell you for okay. I feel like I do remember her saying like she saw Katie's car pull into the driveway and then like pull out in the driveway. And I think we were talking about if it was John, if it was Katie, or like if it was Cheyenne or somebody. And I don't really remember I guess the conversation that clearly. I just remember that she saw the car pull in.
And how long had you been home for when that happened?
I don't really remember.
Okay. So Katie's car comes in the driveway and goes out, and then what happens?
I go outside and get in the car, and I don't remember leaving, but I feel like I might have started driving back to the Woodruff Road, but I don't really remember doing that. I just don't want to say something that happened that didn't happen.
Okay.
And I just remember the next thing I remember is John like running out of his house I don't remember if like the first time he comes out he has the trash bags, or if he comes out first and says something to me and then goes back into the trash bags. That's what I remember next.
When you saw him, what did he look like?
He was sweaty. He was wearing like different clothes.
From when you dropped him off? Okay.
And that's all I can remember about that.
Okay. And then what happens? He has how many trash bags?
I don't know. Probably just like one or two.
Right. So he comes out with the trash bags, and then what do you guys do?
He put them in the car, and he tells me to just drive. And so we pull out, we drive, and then we're like driving, and he tells me to like turn. He's like, turn right here. And then when I turn, we go to like this big like open area like in the woods behind his house.
Okay.
And Katie's car's there.
Psychologically, this is a moment of dissociative observation. She does not ask what happened. She does not ask about the bags. She simply drives. This is a survival mechanism called functional freeze. The mind narrows attention to what is immediately necessary and walls off the horror. Her later inability to remember whether he had the bags the first time he came out or the second is not lying. It is the hallmark of traumatic memory fragmentation. The body recorded everything, but the mind has stored it in broken pieces.
And he just tells me that he needs me to follow him. And I tell him okay. And we get to the car.
He gets in Katie's car.
Okay. And he drives, he's just driving, and I'm following him. And at this point, like I don't really know like what's going on, but I remember just having like kind of a bad feeling. So I'm still just like doing what he was like telling me to do. I'm like, driving, following him. We drive for, I feel like we should do it for a pretty long time because he was like not taking highways or anything like that. He was going like on like, side roads and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I followed him to a parking lot. And parked next to him. And let me backtrack a little bit. I don't remember if he took the trash bags out of the car I drove and put them in Katie's car or not. That's kind of like fuzzy to me.
Okay.
But I do remember him taking off the license plate of Katie's car and putting it in the car.
Putting it in whose car?
And the car that I drove, his car.
Okay.
And when he got it. I remember that. But the bags, I don't remember if he also put those in his car or if they were still just starting.
What was significant about taking the license plate off of Katie's car?
That's just something I noticed that he did. Like when he got in the car, he had the license plate.
Did he explain anything as to what he was doing as far as the license plate goes?
No. Okay. And then.
Do you remember where you parked the car?
Um,
You said a parking lot, but do you remember which one? Okay.
So then we drive and we leave the parking lot and we're driving. And then he's the one that I guess knows where we're at and knows how to get back home. So he's telling me the ways to go, the directions. And he says that we need to find a dumpster to throw like the trash away. And so we're driving, I think we're in Simpsonville now, and we're passing by like the big lots, you know, like where there's like a pet supply store and it's there, and that's where he throws the trash away. At the dumpster behind there. I guess the dumpster that they use there.
Was it the dumpster in the Big Lots parking lot or the dumpster in the dog supply?
The big lots.
The Big Lots.
I'm pretty sure. Okay. And then actually he threw away her car keys too.
Where?
And I think it was the other dumpster, the pet supply dumpster.
So you stopped at two different dumpsters? Okay.
I just remembered that he did that.
Was that a big dumpster or like one of the little small containers, like at the front door, or what kind of dumpster was it?
I think it was just the same kind of dumpster.
Okay. So keys came first, and then you went and threw the trash bags away across the street?
I don't remember which one.
Okay. And what was John saying during all of this?
Like he's just like, oh, we need to go through this way here, and then he's like, and pull over to this one. And I don't know why they couldn't ask or anything like that. I just wanted to do what he wanted me to do. I didn't want to do my to like disappoint him.
When you were following him and he was in Katie's car, what kind of communication did you have with John, if at all, during that drive?
I don't think we had any communication. I just followed him.
What kind of communication did you have with John between when you dropped him off at Katie's job and when you saw him back at his house?
I don't think we had any, but I feel like I do kind of remember talking to him on the phone. I think I did leave the house to start driving towards where I dropped him off on Woodruff Road, and then he was at the house and called me from his phone.
And told you what?
He was like, "Where are you? You should come back to the house." I think that's what he said. I don't know word for word. So I did that.
Okay. Did he have any weapons of any kind on him when you dropped him off at Katie's job?
I don't know.
Did you see any weapons in his car when you were, because you stayed in his car while he went to work, right? So you were in his car for a significant period of time while he was at his job. Did you see any type of weapons or anything like that in the car while you were in there waiting for him to get done at work? Was he known to carry any weapons? Because I know he was just a recruiter, but did he normally carry like anything on him?
Yeah.
What did he carry?
He would carry like pocket knives. Sometimes he would carry like a gun with him. Those are the only things I can remember him having.
Okay. What do you remember him having that day when he went to work?
I don't know if he had anything that day. Because the only reason I remember that he had those other things was because he would like pull them out and use them or show them. That day, I don't remember him showing me anything.
Okay. When you say pocket knife, you mean like a flip pocket knife?
Yeah, like a butterfly knife.
Right. Okay. All right. So let me just make sure I get this straight. You drop him off at Katie's job, but you don't drop him off right in front. You park at the wing stop. Is that correct?
Yes.
You don't have visual sight of their car, but you wait around a little bit in hopes that you see them pass by, and you didn't. What was the plan? What kind of stuff did he tell you? Okay, well, when I go to PetSmart, it's going to be X amount of time before you should see us drive off together. How do you know that he was even supposed to be in the car with Katie?
He just told me that he was gonna go somewhere with her.
Where?
He didn't tell me
And why did he say that?
where. Well, he had told me prior that like I don't know if it was like him or her, but they wanted to like talk, I guess, go somewhere and talk.
About what?
And
Okay.
and so I thought that that's probably why he wanted me to take her there.
Have they ever gone somewhere together just to talk after she moved out?
Not that I know, not that he told me.
Okay. Did he tell you where he was going to go if he got in the car with Katie? Okay. Because Katie had a new car, right? Didn't she get a new car after she moved out?
Mm-hmm.
How did John know what Katie's car looked like?
He had me leave because I had gone to work with him on a different day, and he had me leave to go see if I could find out what car she drove.
And how did you do that?
He told me where her mom lived, and I drove there and just looked for. He told me to look for a car that had like a new license plate or no, like a temporary license plate or something. So I did.
Okay, so you drove to Katie's mom's house, and what did you see?
I saw a black car with like a green license plate.
Like a dealer tag,
Yeah.
kind of thing? Okay. And how did you relay that information to John?
I told him. I think I might have texted him or told him in person. I can't remember.
Did you take a picture of the car or anything like that?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
And why did John tell you to do that?
I guess he just wanted to know because whenever he found out that she had a new car, he got really mad and like he was like, she got that from because of my money. And so I just felt like he just wanted to know to see if it was like a nice car or something like that.
And was that before or after you took him to his mom's house or her mom's house to see about the boyfriend? Okay. And that was when he went to work one day, you just took his car and went over to Katie's mom's house? Okay. And when you told him what kind of car she drove, besides the whole "that's my money" that she bought that with, what else did he say? Okay. Have you guys seen Katie's car at PetSmart in the parking lot before you parked to drop him off? Like, did you go through the parking lot or anything like that? No. Okay. How did he know Katie was working that day?
I think he had talked to her. Or maybe asked Cheyenne or something when she was working. I don't remember exactly what or how he.
Okay. All right. So you leave from Wingstop and you go home. And you don't have any communication with John whatsoever, right?
I don't think so. I don't remember so.
All right. And then you leave to go back a little while later, and that's when John calls you from the house and says, "Come back home."
I believe so.
Okay. So then you go home, and tell me again when you went back home what happened. And you were driving John's car. That's correct.
Yes.
Okay. Was that the Yukon or the other one?
The Prius.
Okay. Where was the Yukon at this point?
He would park it behind the house.
Okay. Was it still behind the house when you followed him, when he went to go pick up Katie's car that was behind the house in the wooded area?
I don't know. I didn't like see it or check to see if there's anything.
Okay, so you pull up in his Prius, and what happens? Go back through that for me.
He comes out of the house. Like I didn't get out of the car. And he comes out of the house, and I don't remember if he has the bags of trash yet or not.
Mm.
He just comes out of the house, and he tells me he gets in the car with the trash, and then he tells me like to just drive. And
So if you're backing out of his driveway, do you go up to the main road?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you technically kind of make a right and go up to the main road after you backed out of his driveway. Yeah. Then when you get to the main road right there, is it left or right? Left. Okay. And then you said it was behind his house. So do you make another left to go back up behind his house?
Yeah, and it's not even, it wasn't, I don't even think it's like a road. Like it's just like a path.
Okay.
And there's this big like open area. And so, and Katie's car was there. So I'm like, thinking that he parked it there, ran over to the house, and that's why he was like all sweaty.
Okay. And then you followed him with no communication, and then he parks the car, got the license plate off. What did he do with the license plate?
I think he also threw that away, but I don't really know.
Okay. Was there an additional dumpster, or was it just the 2 dumpsters?
I'm pretty sure it was just the 2.
So he throws away the keys and the license plate and the trash. What's in the trash bags?
I don't know for sure, but I feel like I have an idea of what's in there. Because he told me that he got blood all over his clothes.
Did he tell you that day when he was throwing them away?
I don't remember. I just remember him telling me that.
When he threw the clothes away or the bags away, did you know at that point in time what was in the bags?
No.
Okay. So you throw the bags away, you throw the keys away. Somewhere in there, he throws out the license plate. And you're driving the whole time, right? So he's the one getting out of the car? Okay. Then what happens?
We go home. I think we go home. All I remember after that is he wanted to go get food to the Zaxby's, and he said that Scott was gonna meet us there, and so we like went inside, we ate, and then Scott came there, and then I just remember leaving, and I got in the car, and I don't remember if he got in the car or not, but he went over to talk to Scott.
So did Scott go in the restaurant with you guys?
I don't really remember.
You don't remember?
No.
Did you talk to Scott that day?
I don't think so.
Okay. What were him and Scott talking about?
I don't know. He had parked like a couple cars down from where we had parked, and so John went over there to him to talk.
How long were they communicating for?
I don't know. I don't feel like it was that long.
Okay. So then John gets back in the car, and what happens?
We go home, and the next thing I remember is someone calling John, like asking if he's heard from Katie.
Who was that?
I want to say it was Cheyenne. And he's telling her no. I just remember that he said no. I mean, I think he said like was a conversation, but I just remember he said no. And I remember going to bed, and then the next day, I think she calls him again and is asking, like, has he seen the kid? And he says no.
What kind of communication do you and John have about what just transpired the day before?
Um, I don't really remember. I mean, I feel like I must have like asked him at some point, like, like, why did you go? But I just don't remember exactly the conversation.
Okay.
But I remember like the day where her body was found, and I had woken up that morning, and wait, no, I do remember the conversation. Because they were calling him asking if he's seen Katie or anything like that, and I was like, please tell me that you didn't do it. And he said he didn't do it. And I was like, okay. And then right after that, he asked me, like, he was like, will you marry me? And that's all I can remember about the conversation. But then the next day or the day after, that's when her body was found. And I think I asked him about it. I was like, I think I said, did you? Basically asked him if he did do it. I just can't remember the exact words I used. But
What was his response?
he said no. And then he was like, I need to go to work. I'm going to take you to Kimani's house. And I said, okay. Because I was going to go home, but he didn't want my parents to see him just dropping me off at my house. So he took me to like Kimani's neighborhood and dropped me off there. And then my mom, I think, was going to come pick me up from there. And while I was with Kimani, like he came to come out and talk to me. While I was with him, Cheyenne had called him, and I could hear her like crying on the phone. And that's when I like, kind of felt like something was really wrong. Like Don had did something. And then
When was the next time you saw John after he dropped you off?
I'm trying to think. I don't really remember the exact like next time I saw him. The next thing I remember like in the timeline was just like coming to talk to you guys.
What kind of conversations did you have with John when you guys were coming to talk to us on those days?
I just remember him telling me like not to say anything, not to like tell anybody anything.
Why?
That's just what he said, and I really told him okay. he did say that like he's gonna be the number one suspect, and
Why was that?
he said it's because of like their history together. He just told me not to say anything. He's like, you don't have to say anything to them. I know now. Should have. I'm sorry for that.
At that point in time, I appreciate that. At that point in time, did you know exactly what happened? Well, let me rephrase that. When did you find out what exactly happened?
I think he had told me when we were already like on the run.
Okay, so when we communicated
details and stuff.
Okay, so when we were talking to you guys, what did you know at that point, other than what you helped him do?
I mean, I had a feeling, but I didn't. He never like said it.
Okay.
So I just knew like what had happened like the days before.
Okay. So we communicate with you guys. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just like anxious.
Okay.
It's hard to think back on all this stuff.
Well, this is a perfect opportunity to get all over and done with, right? All off your chest, so we don't have to keep going in circles, right? And you're doing the right thing by coming and telling us. Okay. After we communicated with you guys went on the run, right? How did that come to be?
I just remember. So I don't really remember like exactly everything that happened, I guess, in order. There's certain things that stick out to me, and I remember him telling me like not to answer my phone or to turn it off, or both. I don't know which one, but he said that he was like, we have to go. You have to come with me. He said that you guys were going to be looking at me too, not just him. So he was basically saying like I have to go and you have to go with me. So we pack up like his car. He packs most of it, just like stuff he thinks that we're gonna need. And so we do that. We leave. He says that he has a friend from the military. He said that we could park the car like at his house and sleep in it there on his property overnight. And then we also went to Colombia at the base there, and we like parked at a parking lot there and like had stuff in the car. We also went to Spartanburg and parked the car and slept in it another time. And when we were at the base in Colombia, he went to like one of the stores that they have there. He said he had a credit card for it or something like that. And he went and he bought a bunch of like camping stuff, hiking stuff, like clothes, camping clothes, just like things like that. And that's when he also bought me that ring that he gave me that I wore when I came back here. And he said that he also bought gift cards, like a bunch of gift cards to like different restaurants. And I feel like he also got like Visa gift cards too. And he said he spent all the money on the credit card. Like he maxed it, I guess. So we had all this stuff for like camping and hiking and stuff like that. Then he did buy a phone. I just don't really remember like when he bought the phone in relation to all this. But it was before we like left the state. He had the phone.
What kind of phone was it?
It was just like a phone you would buy from Walmart,
Mhm.
like one of those like prepaid phones. I don't know if he had bought minutes for it or not, or if he was using it like on Wi-Fi. I'm not sure, but he was using it, and I would also use it to talk to my mom for like the first little bit that we were gone. So, is there any like questions about?
Do you know the phone number that you were communicating? No. Okay. How were you communicating with your mom? Like through Facebook or like what were you?
I'm pretty sure it was through like text messages, and I think she might have called, like we might have talked like on the phone.
Mhm.
I don't really remember if that was like through the phone or through like an app on the phone or something like that.
Okay. And so during this trip is when you find out about what happened? Is that my understanding? Okay. Tell me about that conversation.
So basically, I don't remember if I asked him again if he did it, or if he comes out and just says like, "Do you want to know how I did it?" Basically, he just tells me like how he did it, what he did after, I guess, at like the scene. He told me like what she said when he was doing it to her.
Tell me what he said.
He said that I don't remember if she's the one that said this to him or if he like brought it up to her, but she basically at first told him like we can't have, and then he says that they were talking for a little bit. He doesn't say like exactly the conversation, he just said that they were talking, and then he said that they were about to leave, and then he just did it. And he said that he stabbed her in her neck and that there was a lot of blood. And he said that when he stabbed her, she said, "Ow." And she told him that if he lets her go, she won't say anything to anybody. And I don't really remember if at some point they were like on the trail leading up to the abandoned house. He told me that's where they went also, that he took her there. But he said that like blood had gotten on the trail and he tried to like kick dust and stuff and leaves over it and like kind of just get rid of it, I guess. So I don't remember if like they were in the house when he did it or if they were like walking away from the house when he did it. I just remember I just told you. And then he told me that he dragged her. He told me that when he was dragging her, like her clothes came off.
This is the emotional core of the entire testimony. Katie's last words were not a scream or a curse, but a negotiation. That plea for mercy and John's refusal to grant it haunts Hannah. She remembers the sound of a single syllable. This is traumatic intrusion. The smallest, most human detail becomes the one that replays in the mind. For a psychological analyst, this moment reveals that Hannah is not sociopathic. She feels the horror. She just does not know how to escape it.
And then he told me, like, all I remember after that is him telling me what he did with her phone.
And what was that again? Did he tell you?
He told me he threw it in water. So I don't know if there was just like a puddle or like water down in the basement. That's what he told me.
What did he tell you about the ride from PetSmart to the abandoned house? Anything?
I don't remember him telling me anything about that.
And then did he tell you how he stabbed her or where he was in relation to her or any specific details?
No, I just know like he stabbed her on her neck.
You know what he stabbed her with?
A knife.
Right, but do you know, like, was it a knife from his house? Was it the knife he found on the ground? Like, where'd the knife come from?
He said it was the knife that he found on the ground.
Okay, so the day that you picked him up at the hospital, that knife that he found is the one that he stabbed her with.
That's what he told me.
Okay. What did he tell you that he did with the weapon after he stabbed her?
I don't remember what he told me. He said that it broke, and that's it. That's all I remember him telling me. I don't know if, like I said before, like what he did that he did with it, but at this point, okay.
Did he tell you how it broke or what broke?
He told me that he just told me like it broke off in her neck. So I guess like half of it was like in her and the other half broke off in his hand.
Okay. And how did he drag her?
I don't know.
You don't remember him saying how he drove her?
No, he just tried to.
And where did he drive her to?
I don't remember if he was driving her like to the house or down in the basement. But because I don't remember if like it happened inside or outside the house.
And tell me about the conversation where you said he got blood all over his clothes.
He told me that he had blood all over his clothes and that he had to throw them all away in the trash bags. And he said that he was wearing some clothes that Scott had left at his house.
When he actually killed her? So he was wearing Scott's clothes when he killed her? Okay. Was that what he was wearing when you dropped him off?
I didn't know if they were like Scott's clothes or not. He didn't say that they were Scott's clothes when he was wearing them.
Did he have a bag or anything with him when you dropped him off at Katie's job?
He changed clothes in the car because he was wearing his uniform and he changed into clothes.
Did he have another bag or anything like that when he left you to go to Katie's work?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
And so what do you guys talk about afterwards? Like what does he tell you after he tells you all that? Like, what did you say in relation to that conversation? What did you say to him after he tells you this? Because you guys are traveling, right? You're out of the state. It's just you and him in the car at this point. And now you just find out where he confirms what you already suspected, that he killed his ex-wife, soon to be ex-wife, whatever it was at the time. So do you ask to go home at this point? Do you still stay with him? Obviously you stayed with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really know what I him. I guess because like what he had just told me was so big. That's why I remember that, but I don't really remember like what we talked about after that.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just trying to ask questions to kind of maybe refresh your memory and that.
No, it's helping me. Yeah.
Good. I mean, I know it's been a while. So, when does he tell you not to say anything to anybody? Does he tell you that? How does he communicate? Hey, this is what I did, but then trust you not to tell somebody.
I think he knew or thought that since I had helped him in a way, like driving the car and like helping him dispose with like whatever's in those bags. Like I know the clothes were in there, but there could have been like other stuff in there and all the stuff that he threw away. Like I felt like he knew that since I was involved that I wouldn't say anything.
Did he tell you that?
No, he just told me like later on when we were on the run that like I'm gonna go to jail. So I knew that that's probably why he was thinking that, is because that's why I think like he had me even do that for him in the first place, was to keep me like from telling anybody.
To get you involved, so now you're afraid to say anything.
Yeah. It sucks.
Has he ever been violent towards you, either verbally or physically?
Yes.
Okay, when was that? And what happened?
We were it was whenever he crashed the car.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like that itself was like I was in danger. Like I feel like when he crashed the car, he was trying to kill me or both of us, because he was just driving like into trees, like full speed, just like so fast, and we were hitting stuff, and I got scared like at that point that like I was gonna die. And then that night, whenever the car got stuck, eventually he couldn't like move it anymore. So we slept in the car that night right there. And I remember before I went to bed, he told me, he was like, I'm thinking about letting the car run all night so that we both die in our sleep. And then the next morning he had taken a gun with him, like when we left. And the next morning he said he really thought about shooting me in my sleep and then shooting himself. Like the night prior. Like he thought about doing that and didn't, I guess. So then I was pretty scared. Like that's when I started to get like, a little bit scared of him. Or just like I felt like I made a mistake by coming with him. That's when I started to feel like that. Which sucks because he had already told me what he did.
Mm-hmm.
But
has he ever threatened to harm you any other, like after that?
There was another time where I told him I wanted to leave and come back home to my mom because I missed my family. And he started yelling at me, like, and we were in public, and he started yelling at me and screaming and like calling me bad words and getting like in my face. And he kind of raised his arm back, and I thought that he was gonna hit me, and I flinched away from him. And he got so mad that I did that, like that I flinched away from him, and he started yelling more. And then after that, like I remember telling him, like, I'm sorry, like, I'm not going to leave him. Like, I just remember apologizing to him. And then, like, things went back to, like, he went back to normal, I guess. So those are like two of the times that really.
This is the psychological breaking point. He does not love her. He does not even see her as a person. She is a tool, first to drive, then to disappear evidence, then to die with him. Her flinch when he raised his arm later, her apology for flinching, and her eventual decision to flee All of this crystallizes here. For the psychological analyst, this moment demonstrates coercive control's end stage. That Hannah survived to tell this story is not luck. It is the one decision John did not anticipate. She finally stopped obeying and started running.
Still got to me.
Did he ever tell you not to tell anybody? Were there consequences if you did tell anybody?
Yeah. He told me that, well, first he told me not to trust like anybody. And then he told me not to tell anybody because since I'm involved, like it would be hurting me and not him. He told me that whenever I was back home, and he told me that if I didn't come save him, that he was gonna tell everybody that I did it or that it was my idea and stuff like that.
If you didn't come save him, where was he at that he wanted you to save him?
I don't know. I just know he was still like on the run. And he wanted me to like buy a van or something and eventually drive out to like pick him up and then have him live with me somewhere.
Is that why you went out to Texas?
No. I went out to Texas. I was gonna move to Colorado, and I had told him about that. He wanted to come there, and I was gonna allow him to come there. And we were gonna live there, and then I didn't like when I got to Texas. I was like just thinking about everything, and I really didn't want to meet up with him. Like I didn't want him to go there. I was scared. And so I came back home.
So you were headed to Colorado to have an apartment, and then you came back home when you hit Texas. Okay. How were you communicating with John at that point?
I had a different phone, and we had been talking the whole time.
When was the last time you talked to him?
I've told like them that I feel like it's 2019, but I'm not sure if it's 2019 or like the beginning of 2020. Like I don't know for sure the very last like time I spoke to him, but
okay. Was it more recent than that? I know what you told them, okay? And you've reached out to talk to me to tell me the truth, and I feel like you've been being honest with me thus far, okay? John is not a good person, obviously, and we are trying desperately to find him, okay? So if it was yesterday you spoke with him, if it was 2 weeks ago you spoke with him, we need to know that, okay? It's not any different in my mind if you spoke with him 20 minutes before you walked in the door today or 2 years ago. But we're still looking for him, and he needs to be held responsible for what he's done.
yes,
Okay. I understand. So I'm going to ask you again, and I want the full, honest truth. Okay. Because I don't want to do this in another 6 years where you come back and tell me, well, actually, I was talking to him the day before I talked to you. Okay. So if it was yesterday, if it was 2 weeks ago, if it was a year ago, 5 months ago, I need to know the very last time you spoke with him and what that conversation was about.
I really, really, really feel like it was in 2019. I don't remember the exact time. I just feel like it was in 2019 at the like first 6 months of it. I don't remember. Like I know I'm giving like a really broad time, but that's just I don't want to give any like misinformation because I know that this is really, really serious and that I'm the only one that would know this. And we had been talking less. Like at first we were talking every single day, multiple times, like for hours a day. And we had been talking less at this point. And so I was the one that stopped communication with him. And I had just decided to like do it. I didn't tell him like I'm not gonna talk to you anymore, I don't think. And so I think the conversation was pretty like no like substance to it really. Just maybe like a hey, like how are you?
Where was he back then?
know that he was living with somebody.
Who?
A girl that he said that they were dating.
Is that in the parents' house? Or
No,
somebody else's house?
She had her own house, I think. I think it was an apartment.
Okay.
But he also did like meet her parents, and like they had gone to her parents' house, stuff like that too. So
What's the girl's name?
I don't know.
First name, last name, nickname, anything like that?
And I've been trying to think like if he ever did like mention her or her name or anything like that, and I just can't remember.
Okay. Where was that at?
I don't really know. Whenever I would ask him like where he was, he would not tell me. He would say like, "I'm not telling you that," or like, "I can't tell you that."
And how are you guys communicating?
Through, well, at the very beginning, we were communicating on Facebook Messenger, and then after that, we were talking on Snapchat.
So what was his Facebook page?
It was the name Benjamin Scott.
Okay.
And I think it's still up. Like,
How did you know it was him?
Because of the name that he chose. Because he said if he ever had a son, he wanted to name it that.
So did he reach out to you through that
Yes.
Facebook page? Okay. And then what was his Snapchat name?
He had two. One was, the name was Guy Man.
Guy Man?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one was, he had the name was Charlie Trey. That's what I remember talking to him about. Charlie Trey.
Trey, T-R-E-Y or A-Y?
Just T-R-E.
T-R-E, okay. And how did you know that those were him?
I feel like he had messaged me from one of those accounts on my normal Snapchat. But I don't really exactly remember how we started talking on Snapchat, if I'm being like honest. Like I just know that eventually we started only talking on Snapchat and not from Facebook. Like I think he wanted to talk on Facebook to get to like the Snapchat part of it, because that's what he actually wanted to like use to talk.
What do you mean your normal Snapchat? So do you have more than one?
Yes.
What
I did at that time.
What were your names on Snapchat?
Well, my normal one that I use, it's Hannah _ CHUNNY.
C-H-U-N-N-Y?
Yes, ma'am. And then the one that I made to talk to John is Pizza with an S at the end.
Pizza Booty, B-O-O-T-Y-S?
Yes.
Okay.
And I made that one to talk to John.
Is that the last form of communication you have with him? No. What else?
We also used, I know we used Text Plus for sure, the app. And I don't know if we used Text Now or not. Because I know that we had used that before all of this happened. So, but yeah, I know we used Text Plus for sure.
Okay. Any other form of communication?
Not that I remember.
So the last time you spoke with them was 2019.
That's what I remember, yes.
And then you said also possibly the beginning of 2020.
If it's not 2019, yes, ma'am.
So was it during COVID?
No, see, that's why I don't think it's 2020, because I don't remember talking to him during COVID, because I got COVID. Like, I feel like I would remember. If I was still talking to him, I would have told him that I had COVID. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. What was he doing? What is he doing for work? Or surviving, I guess.
Well, when we were still like together out there, he would walk around. Like I remember going to some docks on like the coast, and he was walking around, going out with fishing boats, trying to find like if they need a hand or something like that. I don't think he ever found work doing that, because I guess I would know if he was going to work while I was still with him. And then when I came back, he mentioned trying to find like a farm or something like that to work on. And I know that for a fact he was working on like a weed farm at one point.
How do you know that?
He told me.
Okay.
He told me.
Where was that at?
I don't remember where, but I know that there are weed farms like in Oregon and Northern California. So I really feel like he's still probably in that area.
Okay. So if you reached out to him today, do you think he would respond?
Because I know now that like everything between us was fake. And so I feel like he wouldn't respond, but then part of me feels like he would, because he used to tell me all the time, like, I'm the only person that knows who he really is and like stuff like that. So I don't know if he would still be waiting around for me to come and save him. I just don't know, but I'm willing to try to help. Like I really hope.
Have you talked to him since COVID?
No, man.
Honestly?
I promise you, I have not talked to him.
Okay. Because and I'm going to emphasize this again, okay? It is very important that we find this man.
Yes, ma'am.
If he, and I think I told you this 6 years ago when I talked to you, if he's willing to do it to Katie, he's willing to do it to anybody that stands in his way.
And they were telling me yesterday, like, he only let me go so I could tell him, like, any updates back here. And that terrifies me. Like, that's so scary. Because he was trying to get me not to leave. And then it did. Like, I thought it was something that we agreed upon when I left. But now when I think back, it really does feel like he let me go. You know what I mean? It's just really scary.
Well, the day that he freaked out and started driving erratically is the day that he found out he was wanted. Right? Remember we had that conversation? Because it was at a some place where he was on Wi-Fi when you went to go use the restrooms, and he told me. And that's the day that he was no longer on a plan. He just drove erratically. And so, yeah, they're absolutely correct. The easiest way to find out what's going on at home is to let you go and to use you as that source of information.
It really sucks. You know? I know there's like worse words for it than it sucks, but it's crazy for me to process, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing that you didn't go back with him, right?
Yes.
If you know where he is at, you need to be honest with me. Okay. And now that you know he's used you and that everything between the two of you is fake, there is no reason to keep him safe. No reason. There wasn't back then, but you had to see it for yourself. Okay. And unfortunately, that's sometimes it happens, right? You try and do what you think is necessary, and you try to keep him safe because you think you're doing him a favor, and all the meanwhile he's using you to his advantage. Clearly Katie meant nothing to him, and you don't mean anything to him either. He was willing to shoot you overnight or to kill you overnight when you guys were out on the run. If you know where he is, we need to find out. If you have any idea whatsoever, if the communication hadn't come from him, or maybe you're communicating with somebody who's a mutual friend and they know where he is, now's the time to tell me.
I don't know where he is. I am not talking to anybody that may still be talking to him. I just like going with like my gut and knowing who he was when I was with him. I really strongly believe he's still on the West Coast, or like on that part of the United States. Like he talked about leaving the country, but I just don't think he could do that, you know? Like it would be hard to do that.
Does he have a fake ID?
Not that I know of, not from when I was with him, and he never told me. He mentioned several times that he needs to get one.
Or a fake passport or anything like that would help him get out of the country?
No, but I know that like there are ways to get that for him, so he could, but not that I know of.
Any talk of a name that he would have used on his fake ID?
No. I feel like he did tell me once like a name that he was going by at that point in time, but I just don't remember what it was. Like I have been trying so hard to remember like all these little like things, but it's a lot. It's hard.
What do you mean he was going by a different name? What does that mean?
I guess like when he would meet different people in different areas, he would change his name whenever he would like introduce himself to them or talk to them. But when he was living with that girl, I know that they were like with each other. Like that's the place I feel like he stayed at the longest amount of time. Was with her.
You don't have a name for her? Because honestly, she's in danger too. And she may not even be aware of it. And if he's still with her or somebody else, I mean,
It's really dangerous.
very, very dangerous. Yeah.
Mind if I-
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to finish saying all that at the beginning.
We'll be right back in here. Sometimes you just gotta ask, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. One question I was gonna ask right before we went to the bathroom. Who was John talking to besides you when you guys were on the run?
Oh yeah. When we were in the car, he still had that laptop,
Mhm.
and he was messaging people on Facebook, army friends.
Who? Give me names.
I know that he was messaging Smurf.
Okay.
I think that was his name. He lived in Texas. I want to say I don't know for sure, like, if he was messaging Sergeant Milt or not, but I feel like he was because they were really close beforehand. And so if he's gonna message people that live other places in the state, like I feel like he would be one of them. I mean, in the country, he would be one of them. Andrew Richardson. I don't know. I think that was also one of his military friends, not just like a friend from another place. And there is another person, I don't remember their name, but he was looking for them when we were in Arizona. So I think that he might live there.
Nickname? Anything you remember?
I don't remember anything.
Okay. Right. Who else was he talking to? What about his daughter?
He was talking to his ex-wife. I feel like they talked pretty frequently.
What did they talk about?
I don't know. I never heard like their conversations because he would always like kind of walk a little bit away and like turn his back to me when he was on the phone with her.
So he would actually call his ex-wife.
Yeah. And I don't know if like she would be calling him too and he had like missed calls or anything like that. I just know that they talked.
And that was on the phone he bought in South Carolina before you guys left? Okay.
And I don't know if I'm remembering something from like a different time, but I just remember him saying that his ex-wife told his daughter that he was either in jail or like basically that she was going to explain to her why he's not around. And I don't know if that's because if that was from when he's gone to jail a previous time or if that's because of what he was doing when they were talking to each other when he was on the run.
Okay. And you said that was almost daily that they were talking to each other?
Yeah, I just remember it being like frequent. And so that's why I feel like it was maybe every day. But eventually, like, I don't think he called anybody.
Okay. The pictures of him outside, anything in the background that would give you a clue as to any landmarks or locations?
I just remember one just having the trees. And that's when he was working for the older man on the farm, the wheat farm. So that's why I said that I feel like it was in the woods because there was just like a lot of trees in the background behind him.
Did he ever talk to you about his daughter after you had left him?
Yeah,
Has he ever sent her anything, like birthday presents, Christmas presents?
not that I know of.
Well, what would he tell you about her? About her?
I remember he told me, I guess he was describing like his ideal like, living life situation, and it involved driving out to see her every 6 months.
Did he ever communicate with you saying that he had spoken to his daughter or his ex-wife since you left him? Was there any indication that they were still communicating?
Not to me.
Anybody locally here that he communicates with still?
Not that I know of.
Did anybody know you were still talking to him? Not talking about like your parents or anything, but like friends wise, because you guys hung out with a ton of people at his house. So I'm sure some people are going to be on his side and some people still like him. Did you confess to anybody else that you were still communicating with him? Did he make it seem like he was still communicating with anybody but you over here? What about Scott? I know he went to jail, but after he got out of jail, is there any communication about Scott?
I don't think so. Maybe. I remember telling him that I just wanted to testify during the trial, but I got canceled or something. Well, I don't know if I told him that it was canceled or not. That's just like what happened.
What did he say to that?
I don't remember what he said.
Does he know Scott's out of jail?
I just remember telling him about that I was gonna go do that to the witness.
When you were with him or since you have left him, has he talked about any type of news media or outlet where he's constantly searching his name for any updates?
I know he would, even before he was like on the run hiding all that, he would always check the like public index thing, searching everybody's names to see if anyone had been like, charged with anything. I guess that's one thing I know. Like he used to check very frequently. He would usually get me to like check all that stuff for him and let him know if there was anything new.
Even after you left him? Where would he tell you to look besides the public index?
Facebook, just like Googling his name, really.
And after you stopped communicating with him, how do you think he still checks on himself?
I know for sure he probably still is, like, or he for sure still is doing that. I'd say he's probably Googling his name, or I don't know if he would be on Facebook.
Do you think his girlfriend would be?
Possibly.
Do you know what her Facebook name is? You even know how to find her on Facebook? If you pulled it up? No. If he's not on Facebook, where would he be?
Maybe like on Reddit. He used Reddit a lot.
Has his names changed on Reddit at all that you're aware of?
Not that I'm aware of, but I feel like he probably did make a new account.
And outside of the names that you gave me for like his email accounts and stuff like that, is there any other name that you think you would be using? Whether it's a fake name like a Snapchat kind of fake name or a real name?
He had one name on his Snapchat. I think it was the Charlie Trey Snapchat account, but you can like change, I guess, the display name on there. It was William Nye.
NYE?
Yes.
Okay.
And he was using the Vincent Victor, which I don't think he still uses those, but he might. Charlie Ben,
like as in
no, like two
different names.
Yeah, Charlie Ben, Benjamin. And I would probably even put Scott there, just in case.
And I know we talked about this when you were actually with him, that he didn't have a fake ID, and neither did you. Has he mentioned since you left him that he's gotten a fake ID?
Not that he actually has one, no. But he mentioned multiple times about that he wanted to get one or needed to get one.
Did he say where he was going to get it from? But do you know if he actually got access to one? Was his girlfriend going to do the same? Did he ever say?
I don't know, but I don't think so. He told me at one time that he felt like she suspected something, I guess, because he has no car. Just met her one day and started, that's really just suspicious to anybody, I guess. But I don't know if he told her it was for a different reason than it actually is for, or what.
What name does she know him by?
I've been trying to think on that last couple of days. I don't know.
And you said that he was saving money. Does he have a bank account?
No, I think it was just cash.
Do you know how much money he has to his name? No. It's probably not a lot, but if it was, it's kind of crazy to have all that cash on you.
Give him just
Hannah Thompson was sentenced in August 2025 to 3 years of probation after pleading guilty to obstruction and concealing a felony for covering up the murder of 22-year-old Catherine Blauvelt by her husband John Blauvelt, who was sentenced to life in prison.